Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Levi Rodgers with Remax Military City and the Levi Rodgers Real Estate Group at Remax. This is Jorge Grajales from my team, and just wanted to say hello. We're going to talk today about something that's really cool. And so Jorge, so Jorge did one of these, so he's kind of quiet. So I think it's the second time we've been on together, right? Yeah, so this is the second time, and so we're going to start rotating this camera around because I'm starting to spend my days back there on the headsets and stuff. So it's going to be a lot less camera for Levi. But what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about functionality over design and how you could win in this market. What I hear all the time is I hear how buyers can't win in this market and how the only way to get into a home is to pay several, if not tens of thousands of dollars over the asking price to get the deal, which in some case that may be. But I just, two things that happened in the last 24 hours that blew my mind. And we had a buyer that was talking with one of the folks at our company, Mary, and the buyer said he was interviewing realtors, and he said, I interviewed realtors, and two of them actually said because of my price point, they just didn't have the time to work with me. And Mary rightfully explained to him how we would love to earn his business, and we have more than enough time to go out there and work on behalf of our people. And then another thing that happened, I was just meeting with Jorge, and we were talking about a deal that went down just a bit ago where he had got in there and used the tactics and techniques and procedures that our company teaches our agents every day, and he was able to save a family a tremendous amount of money. And what we do is we try to get all of our buyers to focus on the permanent factors and not the temporary ones. And functionality of a home will trump design all day. I will argue with anybody on that. And what's pretty today in a home, and when 5 years when you go sell it, is probably not going to be pretty. It's probably going to be out of style, and it's probably just going to be dated anyway. And so identification on the front side on how it have your exit strategy on the back side when that time comes is so important. And so what we're going to do is talk a little bit about the story that Jorge had with his family, and they really listened to Jorge's advice, and they went through and they identified like their top 5 factors, and they went with it. And we'll call them the Smith family, and if they're out there, they'll know we're talking about them, and I don't want to disclose their stuff. So so Jorge, the family that you had, I mean, when we're talking, they had some permanent things that were important to them. What was important to them? Like,
well, first of all, they gave me a pretty narrow search. They told me anywhere between Helotes and Bernie.
Okay,
so it was pretty easy to start.
So that's pretty wild, right? so you had to look. I mean, Helotes, there's a lot of people that live there, and Bernie, there's a lot of people that live there, and in between Helotes and Bernie, there's a lot of people that live there. So okay, I get it. So at what price point were we looking at?
They were looking around the 380.
So right around, so they would have bought a home from 3 to 4 more or less, probably. Okay, all right. And so did they, when they first came to you, I mean, what would they say was some of the most important things that they were considering? What were they?
Obviously, like a lot of people in San Antonio, the schools was a pretty big deal.
Okay.
They had a son. He's about 3 years old, so he still had a ways to go. And they were thinking of, first of all, making sure that this was going to be a long-term investment for them.
So they were looking at not just elementary schools; they were looking at high schools as well.
Exactly. So just helping them with giving them the access to that information of the elementaries, middle schools, and high schools as well. That way, it would be a good.
Okay, I'm sorry, I cut you off. I apologize. So one of the things that's important. And I have my why whenever I buy a house, and I'll share with you guys my why. But what we tell all of our people is that our why isn't your why. You may have your own why, and what I try to focus our buyers on is to focus on the permanent factors, not the temporary ones. And so the things that cannot change versus the things that can, like school districts and schools and so forth. Those likely won't change. They can, but they likely likely won't change, not as easily. If you do your homework, they're not going to change that is for your particular situation if you do your homework. And so, but these cases, I feel that nothing drives real estate value in San Antonio more than high schools.
Absolutely.
And so these folks recognize that, even though they had no high school student, right?
Not for a while, yeah.
Right, not for a while. Okay, good. So high schools, so they picked the schools that they wanted, okay? So that narrowed down the neighborhood, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so by that point, you guys were into probably about how many different neighborhoods were they looking through?
We probably looked at about 4 or 5.
So 4 or 5 different neighborhoods ranging between schools that worked and didn't work.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. And then so another thing, when we were talking, you said that traffic was a consideration for them. Talk to me about that. What was
Absolutely. I mean, obviously anybody that lives in Northwest San Antonio understands 1604, the I-10 corridor, knows it's hectic when it comes to traffic at times.
Wow.
And I told him that that's something to take into consideration, especially just one thing he would do is he would actually practice his drive home.
So he would go after work. He would take off work and go to his work, or no, he would go to his work, and when he left work, and then drive to the house.
Exactly.
So he was gauging the time.
Exactly.
And then would he do that in the morning as well?
Exactly. A couple times he woke up about an hour earlier,
right,
and go and practice, going from the house that we had under contract to his work, just to make sure it would be functional for him as well.
So that's neat, because I get a lot of people that tell us, they say, hey Levi, or hey Jorge, or hey Levi, whatever, we want to live here, wherever here is, I want to live in Helotes on top of a hill somewhere, and I say, excuse me, ma'am, sir, where do you guys go the most? And they'll say, well, we go downtown every day. And I said, okay, great. How long do you think it's going to take you to get down there? And I said, well, about an hour. Okay, an hour each way, times 2 every day for about 200 work days a year, and divide that by 24. You're looking like a 2-week vacation spent in traffic. And so traffic is a huge, huge deal. And so it was pretty neat when you told me these guys. So they look at schools, they look at traffic patterns, and then they narrowed it down even further then, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. And then, so what else was important to them?
The proximity to the school. The mom was a stay-at-home mom, so
right,
she was really involved with the school and wanted to have something convenient to them as well. And then we go a little bit further and helping them, like grocery stores and stuff like that, all keeping them within a close proximity of them as well.
Okay.
Because family time is pretty important to them.
Absolutely. And family time, I mean, I'm sure it's important to most of you out there. And so when looking at a home and looking at how to win and how to win with your real estate purchase, I mean, it's not just in dollars and cents. Now, that's a big aspect. In this case, we're also going to share with you how we saved this family a ton of money. But then you also want to look at the things that affect your life, and how important is time with your family? How important is accessibility to the things that you need every day? Is there a school or down the road where you could play baseball or play basketball? Or is there does the YMCA, is there one that's close? Is there a gym? Is there a grocery store? All these things, churches, whatever may be important to you in your life, is how close is that to you? Because San Antonio, it is growing, and it is growing at a rate that, I mean, not many people understand what's happening here in San Antonio, but there are a lot of people moving here from all over the world, and Texas Department of Transportation simply has not been able to keep up. If you sat in traffic on 1604, you understand what I'm saying. This is probably the 7th largest city in America, and we have a 2-lane highway that connects the whole city. The rate of growth in San Antonio is explosive, to say the least. The 35 corridor, Austin's getting closer to San Antonio every day. Bandera is getting closer to San Antonio every day, because the expansion is so huge and so fast. So you need to make sure that, just like this family did, they need to be close to wherever it is they go the most, right?
Absolutely.
And that provides value. Okay, so the other thing, you mentioned that what was important to them was the neighborhood, right? Like, so what about the neighborhood? What was the...
Just having a close-knit neighborhood, and they also wanted some privacy, which becomes kind of a paradox,
right?
Because in master plan communities, there's not a lot of privacy.
Especially with the land values today. I mean, you're not going to get privacy. One of the things that people say all the time, and I ask them when they say, hey, why do you want such a large yard? And they'll say, well, either they want to practice playing football, or they need the space, the physical space. But most of them say, hey, Levi, I just need the privacy. I want to go back out on my porch in my underwear and nobody see me, right? And so in this case, that's what these families did, right? Okay, so they wanted just privacy. So you were able, in a master plan community, find them a private lot.
Exactly, and just helping them overcome some of those things that would leave a lot of people stuck in their tracks.
Okay.
First of all, having a corner lot helped out quite a bit that was available. And then once we were back there, is identifying where you're sacrificing some of that privacy, and then the little adjustments you can do. I mean, by the time we were closed, we were already looking at some nurseries, some red tip patinas, and, some Monterey Oaks and stuff like that to help out.
So it's funny you mention that up, because one of the things I always like to say is that the first upgrade that you need to do on any home, and you guys, if you're watching this, grab a pen and write this down. The first upgrade that you need to do on any home purchase in San Antonio, Texas, you walk in that backyard, you look left, you look right, and you look beyond, and you establish or verify privacy through vegetation. Establish or verify privacy through vegetation. Red tip patinas, Monterey Oaks, crepe myrtles, those things grow 3 to 5 feet a year in this soil. And if you water them really well, they'll grow even faster, even higher, and they'll establish some great privacy for you. The reason why that's the first upgrade that I always recommend in any home purchase is it takes so long for that to grow in. So it's a preventable problem in the future, because one of the things my company that I hammer our company about and our clients and our agents about is that we are not just focused on getting them into a home and going away. Well, we want to get them into a home so that when the time comes for them to sell, that they can, and something that we can prevent and do now, and it won't be a problem for them later, right? It's all about preparation for resale, not so much in a good market, but a bad one. What if the market tanks? We still want our people in the home purchase that they purchase today to be able to get out of the home tomorrow. And that's why we're talking about this with Jorge here, because he's just another fine example of our agents doing that for our clients. And so they like the schools, they like the traffic patterns, they like the neighborhood, the HOA, like the amenities of pools and privacy and so forth, and then the access to goods and services. We talked about that, kind of went in line with traffic. Talk about, I tell people all the time that energy efficiency is a huge deal here in San Antonio, because it gets really, really hot. Was that a consideration for this family?
Absolutely. I mean, that was just kind of the cherry on top is, once we opened up the attic and we got up there, and he was really hands-on, so he was up there himself, and you start seeing, the solar barriers and stuff like that.
Okay, so like this house, it had a radiant barrier on it, and it had the thick insulation, because it was a newer home, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so this home, and then the other thing that I know was a factor, not in this case, but it's a factor in many cases, is the rentability of a home. One of the things that I coach our people on is that we need to make sure that the home that most of our buyers get into is something that they could rent out should the market shift, or should they need to rent it out later, right? And so you never know. If there's a catastrophic resale, we need to be able to rent the home out if for whatever reason the buyer or future home seller, right, either doesn't want to rent it or doesn't want to sell it, or doesn't want to, or just for whatever reason, if the market conditions change and they can't, or they have a more difficult time, or however. And so preparing for the rent of the home on all of our deals, we're going to do what's called an RMA in addition with a CMA. We're going to do a rental market analysis as well as a comparative market analysis on a sale, because we need to know what the rents look like in the area just as much as we need to know what the home sales look like in the area as well. And so the other thing that we talked about, what I liked about this is the deal, right? This family got a great deal. I mean, it's 2017. People don't save money on houses right now, is the rumor, right? And that's what it's what's going on. I mean, so this family, the home was priced at what? It was
$373.
So $373, and they got it for like $349 or something like that, right? So $349, and then the other thing, Jorge was able to negotiate a deal, and they also had their closing costs paid for. There was $8,500 in closing costs. They got the home at $349. It was listed at $373. The sellers paid for a home warranty, and it's in one of the most greatest neighborhoods in North San Antonio. But what the kicker is, what did the home appraise for?
$375.
So the home appraised for $375, right? And we got it for $349, and $8,500 in closing costs and a home warranty. That's like a net. So $349. Minus another $8,500. I mean, geez, that's a lot of money off the home. I'm not a math guy, and so, but they saved a lot of money. And so, the biggest misconception in this market is that because this market is the way it is, that you can't get a deal. All right, you can get a deal, okay, but don't sacrifice functionality over design, okay? If a home is, and that's what I'm talking about this, right? And so I'll give an example. So functionality would be like I see people pick homes that are, let's say, how do you say it? Let's say they back up to a road and they have a really small backyard. That's something you can never change, right? And so, that may not be something that is as functional as you need to protect your resale value. Let's say that you have a choice in a really, really nice kitchen and in a home, and then you have a home that has a good kitchen, same layout, just not as fancy looking. But the home with the nice kitchen has 4 bedrooms, and the home with the really, really nice kitchen has 3 bedrooms, and they're both the same price. Well, I'm going to take that 4 bedroom all day, right? Because it's got more functionality. It broadens who I can sell that home to in the future. And so these are the things that we look at. We go and we talk with all of our buyers, and we have a consultation, and we go over the process with everybody. And when you have a good plan, you can go out and execute it really well. And then that's what I think really is the key here, because I remember when you met with the family here, and you guys had a good plan, you established it, and you guys went out and you guys executed it. Now, how long did the whole process take from start to finish?
Probably about 2-3 months.
So
it was
2-3
a pretty
months
quick process in the way we narrowed it down, and it was just all being prepared on the front end, giving them everything from HOAs in comparison from those. That way, that we didn't have any surprises. Knew everything from the tax rates and everything like that.
And would they send you questions and stuff at night, or like so? They said so. You sent them homes. You set them up on a search, and then you guys met occasionally, go look at homes, and then they send you some questions here and there on homes on the internet.
On some of the listings that I send them, they ask me for my opinion, what I thought about them. Some people don't know that even on the MLS, some of the schools are not always correct.
That's the biggest tip right here too. So you guys, if you're out there looking for homes, the Zillow, the MLS, Realtor.com, and all that, always go to the school district to verify what schools that home feeds into. The school district, most of the school districts here in San Antonio will have a site that you can go to. I know North Side is the Buses and Boundaries site. I'm sure Northeast and Alamo Heights, all these other school districts have their own little website, because the boundaries change so much, because there is so much explosiveness. And so really, guys, the purpose of this is that I was sitting here talking with Jorge. We were sitting down having a little quick meeting, and we were talking and going over a couple of deals, and this deal came up, and I remembered this deal, and I wanted to get on and tell everybody about it, because I was really, really proud of it. And it was in a very high demand area. We went in there and used amazing negotiation skills, identified points of leverage, and leveraged it out. Because when it came down to it, this family had picked 2 homes, one in one neighborhood and one in the other, and we found the home that had the most points of leverage of things that we can change versus things that we couldn't. And we went in there and we used those as a tool to go in there and fight on behalf of our people and save them a ton of money. We're talking a significant amount of money off the purchase price, a significant of cash savings on their closing costs, and they even got a home warranty to make them feel secure as they move in and spend their first year. I can't think of a better situation that we have. And then the home appraised above what the home was even listed at. Absolutely. And so not only did they get in there, and they have like $25,000 of equity in this home already starting off. And so Jorge, I just wanted to thank you for that. I wanted to show everybody that a deal does happen in this market, and you got to focus on the functionality of the home, not so much of the design. I see people quite often, they'll go in there because how pretty the home is, and they'll forget about looking at the functionality. They'll fall in love with the design, although that's important. That's an important aspect. Your why is not my why. However, for value and for protecting your future resale, it is super, super important to make sure that home is functional, not only for your family, but for other families out there that may buy your home. And the number one factor always needs to be happiness in your home. And so, at our company, we pride ourselves in taking the time to meet with people up front and go ahead and go over that. of everything, and learning more about the family, and so that we can help find them the home they need. I just really appreciate you in this case, and others, going out there and really knocking it out of the park for this family. I just wanted to highlight and give that example to everybody out there on Facebook. And if you guys know of anybody that can use our advice and counsel and opinions, we'd gladly appreciate it. We'd also appreciate to just go ahead and like, share, and comment below. We have a tremendous amount of knowledge, skills, and abilities in the VA world, the FHA world, the conventional world. We do it all, and we have experts in every aspect of residential and commercial real estate, and we'd love the opportunity to earn your business or your referral. And so if you know of anybody out there that is looking for real estate, or needs to sell a home, or wants to sell a home, or just wants a question answered, give us a call. Our number is 210-331-7000. My name's Levi Rodgers. You come out here, this is Jorge Grajales. He's one of our buyer's agents on our team. Give us a call, 210-331-7000. Hablamos español también. And did I say that right? I got it. Yeah, look at that. We love helping our people. We will fight for you. We will represent you. We'll negotiate like madmen to help save you money. And on the listing side, I'm going to bring on in the next couple of days, I'll bring Myra Torres, our lead listing manager, on here to talk about our services on that side too, because we have an amazing listing department as well that's knocking out of the park every day. And so I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the opportunity. If you or anyone you know can use our services or just wants to say hello, please give us a call, 210-331-7000. 210-331-7000. Hope you guys have a great day. And don't forget to like and share and comment below. Please share this video, okay? Thanks everybody. All right. Boom. Good deal. All right. I'm trying to figure out how to turn this thing off while I'm not on the video, but I'll get this figured out here. So anyways, we're going off right now. Boom.
No, it didn't go off.
Nope, we're not off.